Mike's Daily Podcast.
Why do podcasters or radio people ask you that?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
How's it going? Here's the appropriate question. How can I possibly answer you, Mike, when you're recorded ahead of time? It's like, how do I talk to you? It's simple. You can call my number. It'll fit on a thimble. It's 510-228-4640 if you would like to call me.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I do this podcast whether there's anyone listening or not. Seriously, it keeps me sane.
Mike's
Because there's some stuff
Daily
in this life
Podcast.
that I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah!
What the heck? What's going on in Israel? What is going on in the House of Representatives? What is going on with my garage? My garage door suddenly, and I don't know how old my garage door is. I bought my car. Well, here's the whole thing. Why I have my car on my brain is because the garage door would not open. Thus, my car is trapped inside. Thus, the appointment I'm supposed to go to, I have to cancel it. Because now I got to figure out how to pry my car out of my garage. I can't open the door. I bought my house 14 years ago during the economic downturn. What do we call that thing that happened in 2008? The recession, the financial debacle, the credit. Everybody's got the credit swap. No, it got all kinds of names. I call it the economic downturn. And during that time, I had thankfully saved up enough money to buy a house. So I purchased a house in the Bay Area for a relatively low price, considering that all the houses had suddenly taken a dive.
And here's today's podcast picture.
All the house prices. So that is when I was able to do it. The podcast picture is not of my house. And you probably don't want to broadcast your house where it is on social media, on the internet, to the world, unless you want a lot of people showing up. But it has been a great house, a mighty, mighty, mighty nice house with the wonderful Basil the Boxer. He lived there for 10 years of his life with me, the late great Basil the Boxer. And, well, I don't know how old this garage door is. It could be quite ancient. The fact is, it was part of the house when I bought it. I didn't replace it. I said, yeah, it looks kind of old. Yeah, one of these days, it might need to be fixed. It might need to be replaced. I saved all these coupons over the years. In fact, that just reminded me. This is why I do the podcast, because stuff like this, I get coupons all the time for garage door stuff, and I've saved every single one of them. It takes up all this room, takes up all this space. Now I know why I've done this. Now I got to use them.
Mike, it's Mikey Fikey.
Mike, finish your story. How the heck did you get your car out of the garage if you couldn't get the door to open? Well, here's the reason why the door wouldn't open is because it's a big, solid piece of wood. Because this is an old garage door. It's got the genie opener, garage door opener thing attached to, and like the old style remote that it's old. I remember my grandma had something like this. So I had to basically so this huge chunk of wood, I had to remove it by removing the bolts.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes removing the bolts is all you need to do. Thankfully, I had access to my tool chest, and I have a wrench, couple wrenches and ratchets and whatnot, and I was able to loosen it up and take it out. It is a very heavy door, however, and my back hurts because I moved a very large piece of wood, a wall of wood. And then I had to move it away. the only thing I could do was lay it on the ground of my driveway and kind of push it as best I could with my feet.
Ridiculous random posts.
Every muscle in my body was trying to move this wall. And I was able to get my car out. Yay! The point of the story. But now I need a garage guy to come by. Now, I had a wonderful real estate agent whom I bought the house with. Her name is Judy Grubb. She works in Podcastro Valley. And that's where we are, at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth. And I have had issues in the past where I have just out of the blue randomly said, hey, I know who might know the answer, Judy Grubb. So not only did she help me with the house, but like all these little house related type things. Like one time my furnace wouldn't start. That was about 2 years ago, just as it got super cold in the Podcastro Valley, the Bay Area. And she knew some guy who was amazing.
The nosebleed section.
When my mom's house, I had to sell my mom's house when she passed away last year. She knew somebody in Florida who was able to help me. Not even in Castro Valley, because my mom lived in Florida. She helped me that way with putting me in touch with someone over there. Oh, by the way, the podcast picture is not of something from Podcastro Valley. It is from Benicia and the wonderful lake that they have, Lake Herman. I remember seeing Lake Herman as a small child. I don't really remember too much. I just know I was there, or I saw it, and I haven't seen it since. So I finally went there last week, and I got a nice picture of it. See it at mikesdailypodcast.com. I should have gotten the picture of, or the video, but this is an audio podcast, so it wouldn't work anyway. Which I don't understand. Most of the people that do podcasts today, they video it first and then put it to audio, and it just sounds terrible because the host is focusing too much on the video, on how they look, and they want to be a movie star.
Mike's absolutely useless review. Mike ripped someone a new one.
And there's that Bugle song, video killed the radio star, but that's what's happening again in the podcasting world. So yes, that video was of the dog that I saw jump into Lake Herman, which I don't think dogs are supposed to jump into Lake Herman, as we go outside a Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth. And he was chasing after these swans. And one of the swans went over and started like picking at his head. They don't put up with that. Swans are bad, man. You don't want to mess with them.
Everybody make some noise! Woo! Bringing to you live from Podcaster Valley Mont, Mike's Daily Podcast.
It is Touch Tag Day. Did you ever play tag? Dating back to ancient Rome, this game has been played worldwide with a variety of names and rules. Typically involves a player running around chasing other players in an attempt to tag or touch them. Most forms of this game have no team, scores, or equipment. Usually the goal involves being the last player left untagged and thus being safe. It's ideal for physical education classes as a way to get kids up and moving. Come on, let's move. Often students are divided into teams and given boundaries with safe zones. And then you have to have like a referee because teacher.
Matthew's News.
I tagged him. Well, there you go. Tagging. Touch tag. But, we're not supposed to touch each other. Not that way. Tag way is okay. That's the new slogan. Tag way is okay. If, for some reason, you are listening to this on the 7th, I mentioned a lot of the stuff that was going on the 7th on a previous podcast. But in connection to Tag Day, it's also National Play Outside Day here on the 7th, if you're listening to it then. Okay. Well, when a big thing like this happens, like a big old garage door won't open. I mean, it literally was jammed. It came out of the walls, basically what happened. One of the hinges that it sits on came out of the wall, and so the whole thing I'm thankful that the whole door didn't fall down on my car and put a big old dent in it or crush it or something. How do you explain that to insurance? So I'm just tired after some, life throws stuff at you. And, don't sweat the small stuff. And the second part of that rule is it's all small stuff.
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week?
There's a sweeping antitrust case. The Federal Trade Commission, led by Linda Kahn, in 17 states filed a long-expected antitrust lawsuit against Amazon. Last month, the commission accused the online retailer of...
What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week? What's the cliche of the week?
Punishing sellers who offer products at lower prices on other sites by pushing them down Amazon search results and biasing search toward Amazon products.
Mike's Daily Podcast Master Pod Eater.
Most people on Amazon don't scroll down. You can save so much money if you just scroll down and go down to the lower results. Do a little searching. Don't just grab the first thing they're pushing in your face. Same thing with Google searches. Don't just grab the first thing they shove in your face. Roll down the list. In fact, I didn't even use Google today to find the garage door guy. I talked to somebody that I knew and trusted, Judy Grubb, because she's done good things for me before in the past. So, yeah, use someone that you know. Talk to someone that you trust.
The Myclopedia Insantica.
Yeah, you have to create your own Angie's List sometimes. And it's funny because there was an Angie's List commercial that was on the air, I think during COVID. And I heard it all over the place, all on radio stations everywhere, on streaming services. It turns out the lady that was the voiceover for that commercial was someone I used to date in the late 90s. And I'm like, oh, wow, I thought she got out of radio. But nope, she had this big national ad. But then they dropped her because Angie's List dropped the list. And now they're just Angie. Is it Angie or Angie's? I don't know. But it's interesting because there's still Craigslist.
It's pretty interesting.
They don't just call it Craig. And there's still Mike's Daily Podcast. It's not called Mike's.
It's a nightmare of a show.
It's just still Mike's Daily Podcast. And yes, that whole apostrophe S thing causes me some issues because people try to search it and they search without the apostrophe S, or they do use the apostrophe S and it affects the search. And that was probably a bad decision on my part, but that's what I wanted to do. My name is Mike. I wanted to do a podcast and I wanted it to be daily.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
I get interrupted, but I try. Amazon also is being accused of coercing sellers into using Amazon's fulfillment services to ship products. It's a prerequisite to be Prime. And charging them steep fees that are passed down to shoppers. Wow.
Mike's Scavenger Hunt.
The FTC doesn't have to win each case to pressure big tech. Amazon's already sold most of its private label brands. And Amazon is planning to reopen a program that lets sellers who fulfill their own deliveries get the coveted Prime status. Well, Mike, I can go to other people's websites. I can go directly to the person that's selling whatever it is and get it off their website. I don't have to go through Amazon. Well,
News random.
the experts are saying Amazon's causing those people on those websites to drive up their prices because Amazon says, well, if you keep it at a lower price than us, we won't feature you at all on Amazon. And they do other things too, because they also own the servers. Like the Mike'sDailyPodcast.com might even sit on an Amazon server. I'm not sure. That's why when they crash, when their web services crash, we lose a lot of websites, and we aren't able to instantly call up, hey, where did Yelp go? Another place, I don't know. I think Yelp is on them. But Tesla warned that the United Auto Workers demands could drive Ford, GM, and Chrysler owner Stellantis to bankruptcy. He, of course, runs Tesla. They want a 40% pay raise and a 32-hour work week. Surefire way to drive GM, Ford, and Chrysler bankrupt in the fast lane, he said in a post. Did you know Elon Musk for many years didn't actually have a home? He just couch surfed. He was like a couch surfing billionaire. I heard that today. Fascinating.
The Mike Tip.
Tesla's labor cost average $45 an hour. GM, Stellantis, and Ford's estimated at $66 an hour. So they're making $20 more than Tesla's folks. But the UAW wants the workers to get $136 an hour. So twice what they're making, at least more than twice what they're making now. Tesla, a non-union automaker, is a potential winner from the continuing standoff embroiling three of its competitors. The dispute is a growing nightmare situation for Ford and GM as they lose money on EVs, electric vehicles, and only make money on big trucks. And let's see, one last thing. Candy Crush Sega has reached $20 billion in revenue since they launched in 2012. It's been downloaded 5 billion times. Not by yours truly. But the way they've advertised Candy Crush, sometimes those ads that pop up on apps and websites, you can accidentally download it. So I wonder if that's part of it. Candy Crush has been the top grossing franchise in app stores for the last 6 years. They're the leading one. And let's see, finally. Wait, two more things. These are fascinating. Okay. 3 more things. The next work stoppage strike looming in Vegas. That's right. Everybody's striking. Got the UAW, had the hotel workers, had the writers, the actors. Las Vegas hospitality workers overwhelmingly permit union to call strike against hotels, casinos, including MGM Resorts International, Caesars International, and Wynn Resorts. The other interesting thing, Redfin CEO comments on the housing market, affordability at 4-decade lows. More people are moving to lower tax places and longer commutes. And this last bit, according to a new Gallup poll, 22% of people surveyed worry that technology will make their job obsolete. It was 15% 2 years ago. Now it's up to 22%. Don't worry about that. It's going to be fine. Just make sure that you're who's not obsolete. That's something that what you do can't be replaced by anybody else or anything else or any kind of machine. I know, easier said than done. But there you go. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth. That's the latest. Look who's here. Hello, Michael Masters, Madame Rootabega. All of that is very interesting. Can I have some of your coupons? Ooh. Yeah, do you like garage doors? Yes. Do you like the fact that they keep people away from your car? Yes. Do you have a bunch of junk in your garage? No. I know people that have garages, but they don't put cars in them. They just fill it full of stuff. And that's never been me. I've never wanted to be that guy. But now I can't even get into my garage. Oh, yeah, because now that I've gotten out, I was able to move the door by myself, this huge wood wall, and seal up my garage. That might be why my back hurts like crazy right now. I'm almost 55. I'm about a little over a month away from being 55. I gotta be careful. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. We're hanging out with these guys.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we was getting together here to discuss what we want to do for Halloween Day.
Yeah, haunted cafe anyway. Do you know that? Oh, you want to make like a haunted cafe anyway? That sounds cool. You gonna have skeletons? Yes. Oh, Madame Rootabega is still here. You gonna have a cauldron? Yes. How about a broom? No. Oh. Wow, I thought I almost got slapped there. Well, so that should be cool. We'll have some fun little displays and scare people. Oh boy, I love those haunts. Those haunted places that people do all over the place this time of year. And the haunting, the scare actors, they're called. Scare actors are weird. They are just weird peoples, I must say. Yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah. I know I'm one to talk. But they do that thing where they scream at you a lot. That can't be good for them, to scream. I know I started off the podcast saying I like to podcast because it helps me stay sane. Maybe screaming is cathartic for them. Helps them stay sane. And they also do that thing where they look at you weird. And some people do that thing, that kind of that quick jerk motion where they're acting like a zombie and they're slumped over and suddenly they're on the ground. And they just throw themselves on the ground. What are you doing? Or they jump on their knee. They got the braces, the protection for their knees, but they're throwing themselves at the ground. I'm like, wow. Wow, Shuts, wow. Fascinating. These people. Let's hear it for them, the unsung heroes that are working hard. And the makeup they got to put on. Plus dealing with people. They're dealing with people, like they can't touch people. Speaking of touching, they can't tag people. They got to, keep themselves away, but scare them at the same time. And then people react weird to stuff, to scary stuff. You might get a response that you didn't think you were going to get when you scare them. All these things happening.
Wow, Shuts, wow.
Because we're in the Halloween season in October. And it's so hot today, which I don't mind it being hot in fall because the sun is lower in the sky. And though it is hot, that sun beating down on my house, my house, when the sun's overhead, it cannot cool down. I've got insulation. I've got windows, don't have air conditioning. Because it's the Bay Area, you really don't need it too much. So it, during the summer, cannot cool down. But when it's further down on in the horizon, it doesn't throw as much heat on top of my house, I have found. I think there's some kind of scientific reason for that. But I don't have time for that now. I have to do the Let's Go Back with Matthew segment.
Let's go back with Matthew.
Live and local.
That's right. This is because we are going to go back in time to 20 years ago, to when yours truly was doing a country station. Now, I did this station for about 11 years, and it was crazy. It was silly, like this podcast is. And instead of broadcasting from Café Anyway, we were at the Santa Fe Cafe, the Cajay Santa Fe Cafe. And I did it for 11 years, and I had these characters. Some of them will be very familiar to you if you've listened to this podcast before. But let's go back in time to 20 years ago, me doing some crazy stuff live on the air. Now, I don't know necessarily that many radio people today are this silly on the radio. people are a little more sane, a little more. They talk for 8 seconds, and they get in, they get out, they promote whatever it is. Hey, make sure to listen later today for your chance to win Taylor Swift tickets. And that kind of thing. Well, this was me on the radio doing that kind of thing, but taking it up a notch into the weird, the world of the weird.
Every day is one healthy thing that you eat every day, or you try to eat every day. You know, that was Kelly Coffey, When You Lie Next to Me, and I know whose favorite song that is. Let's go see the fortune teller here at the cafe, Madame Rootabega.
Master, as you can see, I'm drenched with tears after that song.
Oh, yeah.
It fills me with such sadness. I'm so sad after I hear When You Lie... What is it called?
When You Lie Next to Me.
When You Lie... I get so sad.
This is going to cheer you up then. John Michael Montgomery, you know, life's a dance, so smile.
I was 14, I was falling fast.
Thank you, Steve Azar. 100.7 KHY. Matt Michaels. I'm at the KH Santa Fe Cafe. What's the healthiest thing that you eat? Oh, our bouncer, Jesse.
Hi. Hey, I like to eat a lot of delicious protein.
Wow.
Any kind of protein, man. I hear that, for example, hamburgers have protein in them, and I eat them.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's all you eat? See? Shenandoah?
I brought flowers to your door.
On the way, we're going to hear from the wonderful Joe Diffie, and this song coming up from Tracy Bird. I don't know, maybe you've heard of it. It's called 10 Rounds with Jose Cuervo. I think you have. I don't have Jose Cuervo here, but I'll pour you this sarsaparilla. And you can spike it with whatever. God, those bubbles are noisy. Okay, it's now time for the Country Quiz. At 10:30 and 11:30, Monday through Friday, it's the K-Hey Country Quiz. If you'd like to play the K-Hey Country Quiz, call me now at 650-KHAY. We'll pick a contestant to play the K-Hey Country Quiz. You could win Toby Keith's Super CD, Pull My Chain, which has I Want to Talk About Me, my list, and I'm just talking about tonight on it. 650-K-Hey.
KHAY and Simi Valley Ford are giving you a ride to the air.
Ooh, look, we got a contestant. It's It's Brittany. Everybody in Camarillo. Brittany.
Hi.
Hi. Let's look at the quiz wall and pick a topic from our three panels. Panel 1 says Andy Griggs, Dandy Diggs. Panel 2 says KT Oslin, not Katie Lang. And panel 3 says Trick Ponies Baloney. Andy Griggs, KT Oslin, Trick Pony.
Let's do Trick Pony.
It's just what I do. And I can't get no lovin'.
I can't get no lovin'.
Brittany, according to the bass player of Trick Pony, Ira Dean, last year he and guitarist Keith Burns and singer Heidi Newfield played nearly A, 300 dates, B, 4 or 5 shows a day, C, all of the above.
C?
All of the above. You're correct. You got the Toby Keith.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Would you like a free car? If you need a car, Rent-A-Wreck in Camarillo wants to help you.
Rent-A-Wreck is in the quality
Rent-A-Wreck
car rental business. True.
Giving you a ride to the airport on Saturday, June 22nd. Someone is going to get to see the Brooks and Dunn group playing at the Neon Circus and Wild West show in Dallas. Plus, get a brand new Ford ZX2 from Steamy Valley Ford to get you to the airport. It is our K-Hey Ride to the Airport
I want one of those.
And you can get qualified and pick up tickets to the special game going on, the LA Avengers versus Dallas Desperados going on this coming up Saturday at Staples Center. 650 KHY, call it 25.
Michaels is taking a call at the KA Santa Fe Cafe.
What song?
Travis Tritt, it's a great day to be alive.
Oh, okay. Lori Morgan and a picture of me without you. We heard from Travis Tritt Unplugged ahead of that, and also 10 rounds with Jose Cuervo, Tracy Bird before that. Clint Black is next, and After Midnight with Blair Garner. Give him a call with your request or dedication at 1-800-722-NITE. Number one on the top 8 at 8 was courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, The Angry American by Toby Keith. Tonight in the KH 9 o'clock preview room, New Montgomery Gentry, a song called My Town. It barely passed with 60% of the votes saying they liked it. Tomorrow night in the KH 9 o'clock preview room, it's the Friday Night Fights. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night at 9. And after that, the KH Santa Fe Cafe, it's the What's the Worst Thing You Ever Got Caught Doing? As we walk out to the map bus, here's Felix, the bus driver, picking us up.
Next stop, the KHAY studios.
Pat Michaels has left the building. Is that your final answer? Is that your final answer?
Toto? I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Wow. There you go. That was the Chumash Casino.
Watch it. Y97 Santa Barbara's Hot FM, the only station in Santa Barbara County, giving you free cash. Be listening Monday for your chances to win from your Y97. Here's Lionel Richie now, Running with the Night.
Bum. That was young Mike. That was about 30 years ago, in 91-ish. Yeah, we would play the Lionel Richie. So I mentioned their Trick Pony. There's that song that they had, and they should have gotten really a lot bigger than they did, because they were 3 really talented people. Heidi Newfield, Ira something. Oh, it's been so long. I can't think of their name. Ken Burns. Ken Burns? No, that's that guy from PBS. Anyway, they had Café Anyway, a song called It's Just What I Do, and I Can't Get No Lovin'. And they had these fun, upbeat songs. They were really cool people.
Oh my gosh!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because people didn't think they were worth. But you know what? They come back up and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
97.5 Y97 and Mike Matthews. This Sunday night at 8 p.m., get ready for Hitline USA, where we'll put you directly in touch with the Pointer Sisters just by calling 1-800-53-PEPSI. It's brought to you by Beach Rentals at 8 West Cabrillo Boulevard and Gold Coast Cycles at 829 Santa Barbara Street. That's Hitline USA, Sunday night on your Y97.
Oh, wow. That was way even before 91. That was 87 that we just heard a little bit of. Dang, way back. Okay, and now, let's see, something from the 90s, early 90s.
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews cranking out 15 in a row on a beautiful Sunday summer night. You know, the Fiesta celebration is continuing right here on Most Music 197 with your opportunity to win a magnificent Mexican holiday for 2 on the beach of Cabo San Lucas, including round-trip air transportation from Los Angeles via Aero, California, plus 3 days and 4 nights lodging at the luxurious Melia Cabo Real Hotel with travel arrangements courtesy of Travel Merchants. Be listening to Stephen J. tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m.
Just want to hold you tight. Early 90s. Look at me trying to say Spanish words. I was using my Spanish
197. Now, when was the last time your mother called you and said you need more culture in your life? Well, going on tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. is King Lear at Solvang's Festival Theater. If you'd like more information about it, give us a call, 965-9797. REM now, talking about them shiny, happy people on Most Music 197.
Oh, that was Tara Kemp, the other song we heard. Spanish lessons. Beach Boys!
Most Music 197 and Mike Matthews taking off now. Up next is Future Hits at 7 p.m. Hang in with Hollywood after that at 8 o'clock. Dr. Mento at 10. And Space Pirate Radio at midnight. Have yourself a great Sunday, and I'll see you when next our roads connect. Till then, here's a new one from The Fix. No One Has to Cry on Most Music 197. Bye-bye.
Oh, man, that is such a good song from The Fix. That did not get to be a humongous hit they're most known for One Thing Leads to Another as Saved by Zero. But that was a great song, No One Needs to Cry. That was a good album, too. Was that called Ink? I think so. Well, there you go. That was Mike back then in 91. Yes, it was young Mike before he had to deal with garage doors and all that insanity. Did that take you back in time? Did you go, wow, I didn't know that those songs were big in the early 90s? Did you go, wow, Mike, I sure need to call you and tell you some of my interesting stories from 20 or 30 years ago? You can give me a call now.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Will ya shut ups? Liberty Nation Freedom Foam for All.
And with more ways to reach me, it is A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
And that was FF episode 2686, 2686. And if you would like to check out all the past podcasts, please do so at my website, mikesdailypodcast.com.